Well, hello there, family. I didn't see you there.
Family.
And welcome back to another edition of Crenshaw Corner. I am Sanchez Crenshaw, and as always, I am joined by the best part of my day.
Come on, voice.
The wind beneath my wings.
Say it.
The apple of my eye.
Come on.
The Laura to my Rob.
Family matters?
First of all,
Who?
why such an awkward long pause?
Because you do these trivia things, and I'm trying to think. I don't think that's family matters.
I didn't say the Laura to my Steve. I said the Laura to my Rob.
Who is these people?
Dick Van Dyke. The Dick Van Dyke Show.
First of all, bruh, I ain't bit more watch a.
How you not watch the Dick Van
Ain't
Dyke?
nobody watching no Dick Van Dyke.
I watched Dick Van Dyke, man.
With your grandmama.
But I still watched it.
I'm not. My grandmama wasn't that kind of grandmama.
Well, your grandmother was shooting dice.
Very disrespectful. True, but she was not shooting dice necessarily. She's playing numbers. But anyway, Carrie, we talking about my grandmama.
My grandmother was running numbers.
She wasn't watching no daggone Dick Van Dyke.
And drinking Michelob Nips.
Nope, it was Miller Nips. Thank you very
Miller
much.
Nips. I'm just saying.
Don't get on my grandma. Carry on. Carry on.
Just saying.
Listen. What's going on, family? What is going on, guys? I am Angela Crenshaw. Guys, what?
What's up, family? That is my wife, family. Mommy, I'm sorry. Don't come for me.
Your mama talking about her mama?
Yeah, you know, she get real sensitive.
She gets sensitive about her mama.
I love you, mommy. Don't do that. So, family, welcome to the show. Welcome to the podcast. For our new family members, if this is your first time listening, we welcome you. We thank you guys so much for finding us.
You.
However you found us, whether it's through iTunes, whether it's Spotify, whether it's Podbean, whether it's Amazon Music, whether it's Google Play, whether it's iHeartRadio or our own personal website at www.thecrenshawcorner.com. We thank you guys so much for listening. For our returning family members,
what's up, family? Come on now.
You know how we feel about you guys. We love you, and we thank you guys so much.
Welcome to the podcast.
We consider ourselves an interactive podcast.
Yes, we are.
What that means is that we can be found on the socials. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook, all in the Crenshaw Corner.
Yes, we are.
And of course, you can email us at any time at thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com.
Yes.
Once again, thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. And family, welcome to the cookout. Make sure you bring your aluminum foil so you can what, babe?
Take something with you.
That's right.
Okay.
What's up, babe?
I have to give a shout out, okay?
You got to give a shout out?
Wait, did you tell them that we're on iTunes, Spotify? Did I?
Yes, baby.
Because I know I was singing, and then I might have thrown you off with my vocals.
Because you wasn't paying attention to me.
But my vocals.
I listed all of that.
My vocals.
Your vocals are nice.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, a deaf man would love to hear you sing.
My mic sound nice.
She didn't catch it, family.
I did, and I'm going to ignore you. My mic sound nice. Check 2. My mic sound nice. Check 3. Anywho,
what shout out are you giving?
I want to give a shout out to Flight Quality. Listen to me, guys. Flight Quality Customs. Mr. Christopher Cook. Listen to me, people, because you guys have been calling about these t-shirts, and then I just got rolled over by a Mack truck talking about no one told us that you guys were doing hoodies.
Yeah,
Listen, we got hoodies, family, and I promise you, this young brother that just happens to be our nephew.
Go, if you want to learn more about him, go back and listen to the episode of Young, Black, and Gifted. That episode was dedicated to Mr. Christopher Cook. I had the privilege of sitting down and having a very beautiful, in-depth conversation with him. His journey, his story. Go back and listen once again. Young, Black, and Gifted. Go back. It's in the catalog. Go back and listen.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you do go to Instagram to Flight Quality Customs, if you want to check out what he does and what he. But I just had to give him a shout out because
he does really great work.
He does great work, and we're getting so many shout outs about it. And there's no way that I was gonna let it go by without giving him a shout out and thanking him for his great work. Not because he's family, but because he does great work.
Because family, understand that's not how the Crenshaws get down.
No.
Because we have a lot of family doing a lot of things that we don't talk about.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
We don't talk about it.
We don't do it.
But because we believe in you have to bring something forth. Just because your family does not give you a pass.
Right, exactly.
So, and especially if we're investing in you,
right,
then it has to be of high quality.
Yeah.
And so that's why we will always invest in Christopher Cook. We will always invest in what he does, because what he presents to the world is always of the highest quality.
Yeah, and the fact that he invests in us, because he thinks of creative ways to do things, and so he's thinking of a creative right now to make us a logo. So we're very excited.
We're gonna expand this thing, family.
Yes.
So for like a half a second, I'm gonna bring some behind the scenes, in front of the scenes.
Go ahead, bring
because
it.
The whole purpose of Crenshaw Corner, we're like Pinky and the Brain. We trying to take over the world.
Yes.
We trying to make Crenshaw Corner a global brand.
Yes.
We trying to be in every home, in every continent, in every borough. We trying to be everywhere.
Yeah.
We trying to have Crenshaw Corner be a common thing throughout the masses.
Yeah.
So we taking over.
We trying to take over. And just so you guys, because I know you say, what? Because our niche is to have married couples and to have couples before they get married and to have significant others communicate.
Yeah, that's
the whole purpose of Crenshaw Corner.
That is the So if you've ever wondered, okay, what is the purpose of Crenshaw Corner?
Yeah.
What are they trying to accomplish?
Right.
What are their underlying goals?
Right.
The underlying goal is honest communication between husband and wife, between fiance, between just any couple who's looking at getting married, any couple who's already married.
Right.
Our foundation is to open dialogue, open different perspective.
Right.
And because that's the only way a successful marriage is going to last.
Right.
You have to have open and honest dialogue.
And this is how any relationship is going to last, which kind of segues into what we're about to talk about. So happy after day Thanksgiving, because it's Friday.
Family, it's the Friday after Thanksgiving.
Ooh, y'all.
Hopefully,
y'all know y'all wrong.
Hopefully you're not in a turkey coma. Hopefully you didn't eat a whole pot of chitlins. I'm talking to my southern family right now.
Okay, I ain't gonna say nasty. My bad. I mean, that's a cuisine that you may like. I don't, but
we're talking to my southern family right now. So there's some other family members who have no idea what we're talking about when I say the word.
And we're not gonna even. We're not gonna even.
And I'm
look it up, Google.
And I'm gonna pronounce it the correct way. Chitterlings.
No, it's chitlins. See, that's what the bougie people do.
Chitterlings.
It's chitlins.
So
okay, we don't eat pork. Why are we discussing?
So happy Friday after Thanksgiving, family.
Do anybody have any vegan macaroni and cheese? Let's holla at your girl.
Yeah,
holla at me. So somebody call me, please.
So, but before we go any further with that, though, I know this particular Thanksgiving looked different.
Yeah, absolutely.
For a lot of our family out there.
Yeah.
This is the first Thanksgiving under the new way of living.
Yeah.
So I pray and hope that you were still able to enjoy your Thanksgiving, that you still found, even though it may not have looked the way you wanted it to look. Mm-hmm. I'm praying that you were able to find something within that moment to give thanks for.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, that's truly what it's about. It's about finding a moment to give thanks for what you have. And so hopefully you were able to find that moment.
And we completely understand it, because this Thanksgiving looks different for us, because we lost a couple of family members this year. So it's going to be a little bit different this year. So we completely understand, but we still want to always give thanks. Always want to give thanks. So absolutely.
So, Bae.
What's up, Bae?
Yeah, I don't want to come off that before I start crying. So we're going to go back to having a little fun.
Yes.
So, family, if you listen to Wednesday's episode.
Come on, Wednesday.
You should have. If you haven't, go back and listen to Midweek Moment this week. Yeah. And we started a conversation about a journey that we had taken.
Yeah, and that we still are taking.
That we are still taking, because we're still in the process of it.
Because it's a lifestyle at this point. It's a lifestyle at this point.
And for the first time in our lives, we realize it is a lifestyle.
It is a lifestyle.
And so what we want to do, because we promised you we would go a little more in depth in that. Right. So I want to start with a number, if you don't mind.
Go ahead, number.
55.
55.
55.
Day 55.
Pounds.
Oh.
I lost 55
you
pounds.
You out here showboating.
I'm just saying.
Did you just showboat?
So I just wanted, just a little humble brag is all I wanted to do. Just a little humble brag.
Did you just showboat, bruh?
Yeah, because I promised the family we'd go a little more in depth.
But not about the weight part till later on down the line, bruh.
I just wanted to throw that out there. I just wanted to toss that.
Like spades, you threw up that joker?
I just wanted to put that on the table.
Or is it like when everybody had hearts, but you ain't had no hearts, so you threw out a spade?
You know what I'm saying?
Is that what you doing?
I'm saying when this is what I just did.
Okay, break it down.
So you led with an ace. Right. Ace of hearts.
Right.
Played it out there, boom. Because you knew that was gonna walk. So you played that. Bow. So everybody else, they played their little heart too, you know. A 9 went out there. You know, a 6 of heart went out there. Because
I did my ace of heart.
Because you did your ace. You led with that ace. Bow. You pulled it out there.
That's a book, right? That's a book, right?
That's an automatic book out there. That's an automatic book.
In spades, that's a book.
But then what I did, I came with a 3 of spades.
Because you ain't had no hearts.
Because I ain't have not a 1 heart. Nothing red in my hand.
Is you sure? Because I don't want you out here reneging.
Just came with a 3.
Bruh, did you check your
3?
Did you check your hand? Because I don't want you reneging, bruh.
And slapped that 3 on that ace. And then just looked at you.
And I had attitude.
And then just looked at you.
I swept the table. I knocked the table over. Because how do you have a hand with no hearts? That's the stuff I be believing. I have a hard time. You sure you're not reneging?
So played that 3 walked.
Played well.
That 3 walked.
Played well.
So that's what I just did. I just played a 3. That's all. I'm just saying, dropping that 55. Cause
you gonna say it again?
I'm just saying, you know. And that's having a little setback because I actually had dropped 57, but I had a little setback. So I put on 2.
You put on 2.
So my final number was 55 pounds lost.
But tell the people who didn't listen Wednesday what you came, because they need to understand that 55, that's a lot. But tell them where you came from. So why that's so incredible for you, though.
I came from 315 pounds.
Yeah.
Is what I did.
Yeah.
So right now I'm presently, as I'm speaking to family right now, I'm presently sitting at right around 260. And
gotta check it.
Yeah, I had to check it.
Gotta check it.
So, but it was amazing for me to see that transformation. So, like I said, I wanted to start with that. That's
you wanted to lead with that.
I wanted to lead with that.
Whatever.
But you go ahead though, because you was something you wanted to say. You go ahead though. I'm gonna sit here quiet. I'm gonna just look at you.
Yo.
With only one chin now, because I only got one chin. Because I had multiples.
Yo, I remember he decided, I don't know why, to cut his beard all the way off.
Family, worst mistake I ever made in my life.
And when he came out that bathroom, he was in tears. He was like, baby, did I always have all 3 of these chins? And
because the beard was hiding it.
I just looked at him and I was like, I don't know.
Hold on. Before we go too far, though, I do want to say this one thing before we go too far. So for me, what happened was...
what happened?
Yeah, during the early part of the pandemic, when everything was happening and masks became a thing and now everybody needs masks, there was this family friend of ours who went into the business of making masks. Custom masks, really beautiful.
Yeah, Spider-Man. Yes. Whatever you needed, she
did. So I had her make me one. Really beautiful, because family, you figure this out by now. I'm kind of a little geek.
Yeah, yes, people.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
So she made me this really cool Spider-Man mask.
Yes,
so I'm out here chilling. I got the Spider-Man. So I put it on and it didn't fit properly. It was a little too small for my face.
So we called her.
So it covered. It really didn't cover, you know. So my wife wanted to kind of make a big deal out of it. I was like, no, babe, it's fine. Leave it alone. It's all right.
I just wanted to see if it was the right size.
Yeah,
I was
we asking.
Covering your face.
We thinking she mistakenly gave me a kid's mask instead of an adult mask. So we out here. So I was like, you know what, babe? Don't even worry about it. I'll just cover my nose. The rest of my face ain't got to be covered. We good.
And she was so professional. She was like, well, I can make you another one, but that is the measurement for a man. And so we like, okay, don't worry about it. She was like, I can give you money back. I can make another one. We're like, no, it's okay. So because like she was like, but in her mind, she going, sis, that's the size. Yeah. But anyway, but she was so professional. I love her.
Fast forward, some few months.
You pull it back out.
I'll pull it back out. It's amazing. It fits properly now. It covers as it should. So apparently it was the 4 chins I had that kept the mask from fitting correctly. Do tell.
Shout out to her professionalism.
I'm just saying.
Shout out to my girl, her mask.
So I didn't know that four chins wouldn't let a mask fit.
You know what? I can't stand
Well, go ahead and continue.
Listen. So this is like a conversation that we really want to have. And again, we'll still talk about what we've been doing. If you listen to Wednesday, then you know the steps that we've taken in the program that we did. So look, go back Wednesday and listen. So we're not going to go back into it because again, we're not endorsing it. We're not sponsoring it, but we just know that it works. It's amazing and it's incredible. So please go back and listen. But what I want to talk about is how do you have the hard health questions when you see that your family member has the 3 chins per se, or
I had 4.
The 4 chins, or you see your husband with the 4 chins, or you see your wife and nothing fits and her stomach is politely laying over her pants.
Politely laying over.
I like the way it made me feel.
Yeah.
Politely.
Okay. So
laying over.
What you're doing right now is you sugarcoating it. So I'm gonna pull off the sugar because I can't have sugar in my diet right now.
We can't.
So what you saying is, as a loving spouse,
right?
How do you look lovingly in your spouse's eyes and say, "Hey, babe, you done put on a few pounds."
Right.
We need to talk about this.
We need to talk. Exactly.
I got you.
You see what I'm saying? And here's the thing, and making it and having this call. Look, I got my hands like I'm praying, right? You saw that, and having this conversation, to all honesty and all jokes aside, is not making them feel unattractive, but explain to them that they are attractive and they are beautiful.
Right.
However, right now, for health is wealth, and right now that they seem a little shaky in the wealth department of their health.
So what you're saying is, how does a husband,
come on, somebody
who loves his wife,
come on,
who adores his wife,
come on,
go to his wife,
right,
and say, babe, I would like to have a conversation centered around your current health situation,
right, not your weight,
without
your health situation,
without him sleeping not on the couch,
but a whole new room
in the garage. Is what you're saying. So how do we navigate those waters?
Right.
That bruh not sleeping in his back seat.
In the garage.
In the garage.
Right.
At somebody else's house.
Right.
So how you navigate those waters?
Right.
Yeah,
or how do you tell your husband, babe,
you need to grow a beard to hide those 4 chins.
Not even that.
I got you.
This may be TMI, but because I heard anyway,
just say it, baby. Just put it out there.
Okay, this is not
just put it out there.
Crenshaw Corner night.
It's not after dark.
It's not after dark. But that you a little bit too heavy to be on top right now. You see what I'm saying?
I got you. My frame can't support your frame.
Right now.
We need to look at something different.
So I need you to do more. If we're doing something different, make it more like a plank.
A plank, not a full lay.
Not a full lay.
I need you to plank. I got you. Yo. I got you.
We gonna get so many emails about this.
I'm just saying. So what you saying? Yeah.
We needed to more be a planky kind of plank thing.
I can't get the full appreciation of this situation,
right?
Because your stomach in the way,
right? We don't need you to do a yoga cobra where you lay down and lift up. I need you to do a straight up plank, full plank. You see what I'm saying?
So let's talk about that for a moment. Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
So
I think for the first thing I would say is, again, making sure that that the conversation that you have is not basically making them feel unattractive, because this is such a vulnerable conversation to be honest, because especially when it comes to a woman, I don't, and you can tell me about men, because probably it does too, because we've had this conversation back, after the 4 chins, about body imaging and what do we do and how do we handle it, because this is 2 people being vulnerable with each other and having a real conversation, not because we said, I'm not attracted to you, you're not sexy, but saying, I'm scared for your health.
Okay.
I want you to be here a long time.
I want to take it back just a little bit, though. I think even before you get to that particular conversation or any hard conversations,
right?
And I don't know if you realize it or not yet, family, but Crenshaws always advocate hard conversations.
Yeah.
And the reason we always advocate hard conversations is because unless you're having hard conversations, you're not growing.
Right. And we have to grow.
You have to grow. But what I say, I want to take it back a little bit. You have to have set the foundation for that long before you have the conversation. And what I mean is that
unpack that.
It can't be a situation where you're always negative towards your spouse.
Right.
It can't be a situation where you're always pointing out the bad things they do, or the things, as we like to say, the things that get on your nerves. Mm-hmm. It can't be a situation where you only point out the negatives, mm-hmm. and you never have any conversations about what you appreciate about the other person. Because once you set the foundation of, we have earnest conversation about the things that are not going well, but yet it's that that professional sandwich, mm-hmm. that I think we've talked about before, where you say something good,
right?
You say something not so good, but you end it with something good,
right?
It's a whole lot easier to take,
right?
But if your sandwich is always bad,
right,
and now you want to come to me saying I'm fat, because that's all I'm going to hear.
Right, exactly.
Because I'm not, even though you say, well, babe, I'm concerned about your health, you may want to lose a few pounds.
You're not going to hear that.
If before all you've ever done is be negative towards me,
right,
then I'm not going to hear.
Not going to receive it.
I'm not going to receive anything you have to say.
Right.
So it starts with before, and it's never too late to change that.
Right, exactly.
So I'm not saying that if you haven't done it, oh, you're screwed, get a divorce. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, but you have to recognize, how do you talk to your spouse?
Right.
You have to recognize that first.
Absolutely.
So once you recognize how you speak to your spouse,
right,
then it makes it easier to have the conversation to say, babe, I love you.
Right.
Babe, you're gorgeous to me.
Right.
But I'm concerned.
And not saying that you're fight, and not even saying the word that you need to lose weight. Because you can lose weight and gain weight, but baby, how do we change our lifestyle?
Right.
Our lifestyle. Our lifestyle, not just yours. Because here's the situation. Let's talk about that. I think
idiocy, nonsense, violence.
Oh my gosh, you love to say that.
Before, you must ignore.
One thing I think you need to do is, first of all, lead by example. If you feel that your significant other is unhealthy, or they need to change their lifestyle in reference to their health, and I don't like saying they're overweight. I don't like that.
Right.
Because words have power. But what I do say is they have power if far as changing their health lifestyle, right? And so I think that first, before you do have a real conversation, sometimes actions is better than words. And
actions are much better than words.
Right. And sometimes you need to lead by example. So and what I mean by that, like for instance, when we started this program, I didn't say to Sanchez, babe, you need to lose anything. I didn't say a word. I just knew that I needed to do it for myself, but also before I can tell him, because we have a tendency of telling our kids to shoot for the stars, but they don't see us shooting for the moon. You know what I'm saying? But we be like, oh, shoot for this, shoot for that, but they don't see us doing it. And I believe that sometimes that we do the same thing with our significant others, our spouses, where we're like, babe, you need to do this. But in the back of their minds, they don't hurt your feelings. They be like, no, to be honest, you need to do it too.
Boo-boo kitty, you need to take your own advice before you start coming to me.
Yeah. So my thought process, because this was a me time, but I wanted to lead by example. And I knew that we both were broke, and, we were not health is wealth, and we were already bankrupt. And I was like, you know what? Instead of me saying that to him, because he already knows, because we've had this conversation. And the crazy part, to know that your significant other, your spouse, already knows that their health is not where it needs to be. It's not like when you say it or y'all talk, it's going to be a surprise.
Right.
They know themselves. It's just that they may not know what to do. So as a person who loves them, live by the example, lead by the example. So when I started this program, I didn't even tell Sanchez what I was doing. I just did it.
You just did it.
I just did it. And in return, you said the same thing.
Yeah. And I just came, and then I saw what you were doing. I saw the dedication in you. I saw the determination. I mentioned this on the previous midweek moment episode, that I saw a determination in you that I haven't seen in a very long time.
Right.
You're determined when it comes to everybody else.
Yeah.
You're determined to make sure everybody else is okay. You're determined to make sure you take care of everybody else and they have what they need, and you're always available for everybody else.
Right.
But it's that determination for yourself.
Right.
For your own self-care.
Right.
That I hadn't seen in quite some time. And to see that in you, I'm like, oh, snap. Okay, what's going on? All right, I want that.
Right. What is she doing?
I want a taste of that.
Yeah.
And so we started. But also, real quick before we continue, when having the conversation, and the one thing this program taught me is that, once again, because it's not just about the physical aspect of
physical part is not even in the forefront.
It's not. So when you're having the conversation, so if you find yourself having to have that conversation with your significant other, with the person that you love and you've dedicated your life to and to take care of, just don't center the conversation around just their physical health.
Come on now.
Because the thing is, weight is rarely about physical.
Right, absolutely.
Your weight fluctuating, going up and down is rarely about physical. There's an underlying issue there.
Right.
Whether it's a health concern or whether it's a spiritual concern or emotional concern.
Absolutely.
Typically someone who carries a lot of weight.
Right.
They're carrying a lot of physical weight,
right,
but they're also carrying a lot of emotional weight.
Right. Yeah.
So when you're having that so when you find yourself having to have that open and honest and hard conversation with your loved one,
right,
just don't say, "Babe, you're fat. What can we do to get you unfat?"
Right.
Don't have that conversation.
That's not the conversation.
Have the conversation with, "Babe, what are you feeling?
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Right.
What's weighing on you? Where are your emotions right now?"
Right. Absolutely.
Have those real, honest, hard conversations that make you feel uncomfortable.
Right.
And then you start getting to the root of really what's going on.
Absolutely.
And then you, like my beautiful, beautiful chocolate wife said, and then you start leading by example.
Right. 'Cause you have to lead by example. And here's the thing, even if you're doing it by yourself for right now, I didn't know that Sanchez was coming along, but I knew what I was going to do, and hopefully that he would. Normally I'd be like, "Hey babe," because we are bad for each other in certain areas. I'd be like, "Hey babe, let's go work out, let's do it together." And we will do it gun ho. And then one of us will slack off, and then the other one will be like, "You know what?
Both ain't doing nothing."
You right.
Yeah.
You right. So it was a mindset. And I think that's when people understand, it was a mindset for me to go like, this is for me. And if he comes, that would be phenomenal. But if he doesn't, I have to do it anyway. But not only that, but just remembering that the same high level that I think that Sanchez should be at is the same high level that I have to make sure that I'm at.
Yeah.
So I can't say, well, eat this and eat right and da-da-da-da, and I'm not doing it. So my level should be just as high as the bar that I'm placing him on.
That was another thing as well. I saw that this had nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
This had nothing to do with me. It had nothing to do with the kids.
Nope.
It had nothing to do with Pooh. It had nothing to do with
Pooh.
anybody.
Don't bring up Pooh. That's my Poohdie. Pooh.
This was all about Angela.
Yeah.
You had finally made up in your mind to
Yeah.
make it about you.
Right.
And you went on this journey about you, and you had, like you said, it wasn't, if he joins me, he joins me. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But
Right.
I'm pressing forward.
Right. And we made a pact because I didn't want it to be about me. When he came along, I didn't want to make it about me and him as a couple. I honestly did not want to do that. So we made a decision that we would not work out together.
Yeah.
Period. We're not doing it. We're not walking together. We ain't lifting weights together.
Plus,
we ain't doing nothing together. Plus some people.
Let's be honest.
Some people
we're
are overachievers.
No, we're a little competitive.
Yeah, we are very competitive.
Yeah. And also, no, family. Now, once again, she trying to paint me in this wrong light. Because that's what she trying to do. Family, she trying to paint me in the wrong light. What happened was, we've done this before. We've worked out together
back
before.
Back in the day, back down memory lane.
We've done this before. And what happens is, I try to help my wife. I try to assist her. I try to give her, tips on how to do things. Because when you have a workout partner, the whole purpose of a workout partner is to motivate and push each other.
No, that ain't what he was doing, y'all.
My wife don't like to be pushed.
No, no, he was a drill sergeant.
I was not a drill sergeant.
So we're going to give you a couple of tips.
I made my daughter cry, though.
You did, because yeah, that's my baby.
My daughter and my son refused.
Nobody want to work out with you.
I think I made my son cry, too. I think
Nobody want to work out with you.
Anyway, go ahead. Tips.
So here's some tips, okay? So, let me just say this other thing as well. One of the greatest things, to be honest, is when we did not work together. And the reason why I say that, because it was my time, it was his time, and we just did well when we did it that way. So, and we also didn't talk about it.
Right.
We didn't be like, okay, every now and then we'd be like, okay, it's about to be time. Are you okay? And then we would drop it. You know, even when it's like, and sometimes I would just fix his water and I would move on with my life. Like if I fix mine, I'ma fix his and we're going to move on. Cause I don't know if he drank water or not, but that was when, plus he didn't like water, but we're not, there's no here nor there.
Still don't like water.
He didn't like water. But another thing that we found was the time that we had to get to apart, that we read our books,
right?
You know, and it was just so good for us because we do so many things together that we were doing this separate, but we were doing it together, but separate, if any of that made sense. What I just said.
No, it makes sense because as a married couple, you still need separate time from each other sometimes because we're still human, we're still people. It's okay. It's okay to sometimes certain situations, you know, do your own thing a little bit
and then come back together.
But your tips.
Yes. So let me just tell you this. Let me drop my number since he dropping numbers 27.
Look at you, girl.
I lost 27 pounds.
Look at you, girl.
And
so
again,
happy for you. So
it wasn't
proud of you.
even anything that we just knew that I was determined. I'm determined. I'm still determined. And let me tell you, for people like, I don't know if I can do all that. You can. I have a knee and I have arthritis in my knee.
You have a bad knee.
And it's bone on bone. So I'm wearing braces. Some of those days of 75, I was crying. I was in pain.
Family.
Consult your doctor, guys.
Before you do anything, consult your doctor.
Please. I was crying. I couldn't get up. My leg wouldn't move. I was swelling up. I was icing. I was just doing so many things, you know, but I was so determined no matter what the pain was that I was going to finish this for myself, not for anybody else, for myself. So here's some tips as far as this is doing this. We want to get back to this. Again, number one, you know, have the conversation, but not about the physical body, but about health for both of you, not just you. Yeah. So it doesn't sound like it's nagging. Make sure that you have the foundation to have real conversations first.
You're doing a welfare check.
Right.
That's what it is.
Your welfare check.
You're doing a welfare
check. So it doesn't feel like you're nagging my wife and my significant, she's nagging me or whatever. Definitely lead by example. Even if you got to do it by yourself for a while, do it by yourself. Trust me, your loved one will see what you're doing and be like, hey, and they may not do it right away. Like Sanchez did it days after, but it may be a week or two, but still do that. Buy the right food. Don't be talking about you want them to eat right, but you bringing the wrong food in the house. Yeah. That doesn't make any sense.
But you're the primary one doing the shopping, right. But you're mad at what they're eating.
Exactly. So you got to really be thinking about that. Willing to do more. This is so powerful. Willing to do more than what you're asking them to do. Seriously.
Say that again for the family in the back.
Willing to do more than you're asking them to do. Because to be honest, this is a time, what this did for us is time management. In order to drink the water, I had to so my example for Sanchez, in order, because he was like, I can't get all this water done. So I just did more. I would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and start my water then. And then he realized, you know what, that does work, because then I would be finished my water by like 6 or 7 o'clock. And he was like, yo, wait a minute. That works. I was willing to get up super duper early to make sure that this happened. A lot of the tasks, the reading and stuff, I got up super duper early just to make sure that I could get it done. So make sure that you're going over above of what you're asking them to do. Make sure that you have the same high standards for yourself that you're asking. Don't be like your husband, you shouldn't be eating this and you shouldn't be eating this, but then you're eating it. No, ma'am. If that's what you're telling him to do or you're requesting him to do for this lifestyle, then no, you're not going through the drive-through sneaking either.
Yeah, that was my favorite thing.
Not sneaking.
I used to do that. Arby's was my friend.
Yes,
I used to love sneaking through Arby's, man.
Arby's. Next thing is meal prepping together. I think that's having fun. We have fun with that, meal prepping. More me than him, because I know if I meal prep, he'll cook it. God is faithful. But anyway, so you're a better chef.
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead, go for it.
But one thing with this, and my wife has given a lot of great tips, so hopefully you guys are, you know, if you're missing something, rewind, go back and listen to it, get your pen and paper out, write these down. But it's one thing that throughout all of this that I need you to understand. This is not going to work if you're coming from the wrong place.
Right.
You have to come when you're having these, and this is everything, whether it's health related, whether it's relationship related, whatever it is, dreams, whatever it is, these hard conversations that you have to have, they have to come from a place of love.
Right.
Your partner cannot feel as though you're being condescending or you're being judgmental or you're nagging. It's never going to work no matter what conversation you're trying to have, because we have to remember one thing. We're all adults.
Right.
Just because you and I have shared the same last name now, this did not take my adulthood away from me.
Right, absolutely.
We're still adults. There's still certain ways that we have to be handled and we have to be treated. So when you find yourself having to have that conversation with your spouse, saying, babe, I'm concerned about your well-being right now.
Right.
You have to come from a place of love, because it can't be that your spouse feels as though that you feel superior, or they're unattractive, or they don't meet your standards anymore,
or they don't meet your needs.
Yeah,
anymore.
They don't meet, because a conversation, and this is why we call them hard conversations, because if it's not done the right way, it can go left
so easy.
And your intention was to show concern, but the outcome is that you show disapproval.
Right.
So you have to be very careful in how you have this conversation.
Right.
And most importantly, you have to make sure, what are your motives?
Right. Your why behind this.
Is it that you spent too much time scrolling through Instagram and you saw one too many Instagram models who took 45 minutes to take this one picture because that leg had to be positioned just the right way, and now you're comparing your wife, who had 3 of your kids, who's in her 40s, to this 22-year-old who hasn't had a child?
And the same thing, are you looking at guys with all these abs to your husband who works 40 to 60 hours a day, trying to make sure that he takes care of a day. I mean, a day.
That's a lot of hours in a day.
So you ain't sleeping.
You ain't doing nothing.
A week. Are you comparing and contrasting? That's not what we're doing. The goal here, what we want you guys to do is you both, because health is wealth, to both invest, right? So your stock of health can go up. And I want to say this, because I know we have to wrap up, because we just be going. We be going.
No, we good. We're gonna take it for a couple more minutes.
We're gonna take a couple more minutes.
Because family, what we're gonna do, because it's technically still a holiday.
Right.
You still recovering from your coma.
So we didn't want it to be a long podcast.
So we're not gonna be before you long.
Right. We didn't want to give you a long podcast. But we do want to say too, and I'll do it on my final word. But this other thing I want to say is gym membership. You do not have to have a gym membership to do this. All this outdoors, all the YouTube workout videos that are free are available to you.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be in the bathroom 5 o'clock in the morning working out to a YouTube video, stretching.
All these chair workouts.
I did so many chair. So don't tell me about your body, because I've done so many chair workouts because of my leg, of my upper body. And guess what, guys? Let me just let y'all know, I got a weighted hula hoop for my birthday, y'all. I don't know how to hula hoop right, but I'm trying.
You learn.
But I'm learning. So so we just want to make sure that you understand that. Do this in love. Have those conversations and have those steps. And I think, probably next Wednesday we'll dive a little bit more into it next Wednesday, because we haven't even touched the surface.
You want to continue the conversation?
Yeah, because we haven't really touched the surface of it. So what's your final thought? Okay, sorry, I was dancing.
Wow, you so sexy.
Sorry.
My final thought is, once again, I'm going to reiterate something I just said. No matter what conversation that you find yourself having to have with your spouse, like I said, whether it's you're worried about their mental health, you're worried about their spiritual health, you're worried about their physical health, you're worried about their overall well-being, whatever conversation you find yourself having to have with your spouse, check your motives first before you have the conversation. Actually, I'm gonna take it a little way, just real quick. I'm gonna do an Angela. I'm gonna elongate my final thought for a moment. Before you have that conversation with your spouse, have a conversation with God.
I'm about to say the same thing. You got me on that one.
Yeah, before you go into, I need to tell Angela something. No. The first thing I need to do, I need to have a conversation with God.
Right.
And that's the first conversation I need to have, because I need to ensure that my motives are lined up with Him.
Right.
And my motives are pure.
Right.
When I go to have this hard conversation.
Right.
Now, once I've had that conversation with God, and now Him and I have communed together, and we've had that conversation.
And you sat and listened.
And I've listened. I just didn't tell Him what I wanted to do.
Right.
But I had the conversation, and then I waited for a response from Him.
Right. And normally He goes off on you first. Yeah. But go ahead.
And then once we line up, once God and I line up and we get that information together and we're on this, and God and I are on the same page with it, then I go to my spouse.
Yeah.
And then I have the conversation.
Right.
And once again, making sure that it's in purity.
Right.
Making sure it's in love.
Absolutely.
And making sure the conversation I'm about to have with my wife is to edify.
Come on now.
Is to help her grow.
Not to tear them down.
And not to tear her down.
And vice versa.
So my final thought is making sure that whatever conversation you're having, that you're having a conversation to edify.
Right.
To grow.
Right.
And not to tear down.
Right. And my final thought is you have more time than you think. And the Bible says, write the vision and make it plain. And I think make a plan for yourself and for your spouse to make sure that you're investing in your health, because we're getting older, to invest in your health, and make sure that you carve out the time to do the things that's going to make you whole and healthy. Because trust me, my 60 and 70-year-old Angela is going to appreciate what this Angela is doing right now, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Amen.
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 And
all right, family. That's the best way to close. Yes.
So, family, actually, we're going to continue this conversation next week.
Yes, we are.
Make sure you tune in. Make sure you
Please
listen.
Do.
Family, as always, we just want to thank you guys.
Thank you, guys.
We thank you for listening. We thank you for being a part. However you're listening, whether it's iTunes, whether it's Podbean, whether it's Spotify, whether it's Amazon Music, whether it's Google Play, whether it's iHeartRadio, or on our own personal website at www.thecrenshawcorner.com. We consider ourselves an interactive podcast. That means we can be found on the socials. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook, all in the Crenshaw Corner.
Yes.
And of course, you can email us at any time at thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. Once again, thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. And as always, family, welcome to our journey.
We love you guys. Bye.